It's the hot show, and I don't know how it's gonna go. It's the hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Howdy, and welcome to the Hot Show. I'm your host, Hot the Cat. Thank you, anyone who ever sees this, either now on our live Twitch page, twitch.tv/Hot the Cat, or on our YouTube archive, which can be found in the About page for the Twitch. Hope you're following us on stuff at Hot the Cat, as it is right down there. I figured out one of them. Thanks so much for being here. Gonna have a nice wet show tonight.
That's right.
Ooh. Let's get on.
And just like that, our organs are just applauding for us.
Yeah.
Like they're so appreciative, just keeping things flowing, things regular. Water.
How you doing tonight, Ryan? It's good to see your face.
You as well. Doing good. Been drinking water all day in preparation for tonight's show.
It's interesting. I have been drinking water, but I don't think I have been drinking enough water today. In some way, maybe in preparation of tonight's show, so that tonight I can really get hydrated.
You'll be hydrated by the end of tonight's show.
I'm hoping so, and I hope anyone watching will also be hydrated, whether you're watching live or in the future. I hope that you get some water. Fill up a water bottle, get a glass of water, and join us. Join us on this journey of hydration.
I'm going to start off with an interesting, albeit morbid, water fact I just learned, hydration fact.
Sure.
When you're in the desert or in a place where you have limited water on you, you should drink when you're thirsty. You shouldn't ration out your water. And many people have died from trying to ration out their water and not drinking it when they're thirsty. So I thought that was interesting because you see on TV a lot of depictions of people trying to ration their water out, stretch their water out, and that's wrong, apparently.
That is interesting. I've heard from maybe a less scientific source than what you are citing right now that it does not take. It doesn't take as much water as you think to make you less thirsty. So if you just sip a little bit of water, because the feeling of thirst makes you just want to I think what I've heard is that's just the feeling of urgency of needing water soon, not necessarily the amount that you need. But like I said, not a very scientific source. maybe look it up before you go into the desert with only a small amount of water.
Do you have any memorable sips of water in your life?
Memorable sips of water.
Just a normal everyday question. Should have one or two or three just on deck. I'll say doctors' offices often have just the coldest, crispest like water coolers, and in those plastic cups, and the water shoots out really quickly, very strongly into the plastic cup. But
From like those
just like
those jugs.
the jugs, but it's always so cold and so refreshing.
That's interesting. I can't say that any doctor's offices are coming to mind as memorable sips of water. I mean, I don't know if I want to get into this story yet, but like there's this big event where I got fairly dehydrated, and the sip that I had first after that was remarkable. But I don't know if it's time for a big story like that necessarily. I'm just trying to think of like one thing I will say is that your question reminded me of is that sipping water is my technique. Holding breath and sipping water is my technique for getting rid of hiccups. I know a lot of people have a lot of different techniques, often involving water. For me, it's the just sip little bits until the hiccups are gone.
So hold your breath first.
Yeah.
And then sip.
Sip really just a little bit at a time.
And that works.
Yeah, for me it works.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
There's something extra. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask, does your hiccup method also involve water?
I don't have a hiccup method.
Really?
Yeah. I have tried holding my breath, but there's something extra embarrassing about getting the hiccups as an adult. Like it seemed to happen so often when you're a kid, and then just it kind of fades away when you're an adult. But just imagine like at a very corporate workplace, like you're a high powered attorney, and you just get the hiccups.
I guess I understand what you're talking about there. I personally haven't felt very much shame around my adult hiccups that I've had, but I also haven't been in like high status situations very often in my life.
No, neither have I.
So I get your point, but I also, it's just a fact of life getting the hiccups. If we have anybody watching, I'd really like to hear in like the comments or whatever what your hiccup methods are. Or give us a call too. Oh, I forgot to get that ready. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to comment about your hiccup methods, especially if they involve water, I'm really honestly very surprised that you don't have a hiccup method.
I mean, I'll hold my breath, but then there's the classic, oh, like I think I got it, and then you hiccup again. So like That's my method, but it doesn't often work.
Yeah. One of my, this is maybe getting us a little bit off track about our water, but one of my favorite methods of getting rid of hiccups that I've ever seen is this person that I was on a farm with at one point who their method was you would, if you mentioned that they had hiccups, they would go, "What hiccups?" And then just sit there and they wouldn't have hiccups anymore. It was just like pure spiteful will. Uh,
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was very impressive.
I feel like that's like the secular version of a like evangelical preacher saying like, I cast these hiccups, be gone.
Be gone. I've heard that there was somebody who had the hiccups for like something like 40 years. Um,
For that too.
I'm sure we could actually look that up, but you know, not everything needs to be known.
You know,
I like that the hot show could be a place. I not that it has to be in this circumstance, but I like the idea that the hot show could be a place where there are things that are like urban legends that we're not going to tell you the answer. We're not going to tell you if it's true. You have to look that up if you care enough.
that'd be a good show, centered around urban
Yeah,
legends.
that is a good idea. That'd be fun.
You
I'm
know, on
sure.
that note, I'm going to take a sip of water. Mention a good idea for a show. Take a drink of water.
Take a drink of water. Take a drink of water.
That's right. Now tell me about your water bottle, Hot.
Wait. First of all, I just want to say, anyone who's joined in tonight, we are hydrating. That is the focus of tonight. We are getting hydrated. So, if you don't have any water around, or I mean, I suppose you could probably do tea or something. Tea, I think, is fairly hydrating, but especially water.
Yeah.
You know, I guess like other things that are hydrating, but I think for us, the clear focus is on water.
Oh, show's about water.
Yeah. So if you don't have one, go just uh, you know put your phone down, put your computer down, and just go get some water uh, right now because we're gonna want you drinking with us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And if you have to pick between watching the show or hydrating, I don't have an answer for you because that's a really hard. It's a really hard choice because I want you to do both. So
I think I'd rather you hydrate.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to just take a sip of water, and then you can come back to the show.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the vessel you're drinking out of, that's a different bottle than you usually have.
No, it is the normal bottle. Just a nice blue Nalgene, black top. From REI, you might not be able to see that because it's kind of dark lettering that blends in very well. Doesn't really matter though. Yeah, it's just kind of a nice Nalgene. What was that? No, was that 1,000 milliliters or something?
Now I remember
32 ounces.
I remember you having a smaller, more compact bottle.
I do have a smaller version, same color.
Hmm. Is that the more hydrate on the go?
Yeah, that one is in my bag. That's my that's the one I take if I go places because it's always good to have water
Hmm.
wherever I go. I will say I don't know if it's just being a hot cat, uh, but just about all my life I have been a very thirsty person. I have like
Mm.
at at restaurants and stuff. There has to be good water service um, because I just will chug it down.
Yeah. Uh, I've gotten strange looks from servers before from the rate that I drink water at restaurants.
I I don't know if I've noticed many strange looks. So you might be faster. Maybe at some point we could get a water race during tonight. Uh,
And I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a recent trend of nicer restaurants having very small glasses for water. And to that, I say, get out of here. Get out of here with that.
yeah, I I'll agree with that. I mean, it's
You know,
nice to
choose to that.
yeah.
Get out of here. Give me an Nalgene.
Yeah, just provide me with an Nalgene.
Yeah.
Restaurants, what are you doing? Not just providing Nalgenes to people.
Um, I've heard it's hard getting good water service in Europe, and I mean places that aren't America non tipping cultures
Hmm.
at restaurants. They you kind of have to flag someone down to get a refill on your beverage.
We are a fairly, um, despite that there are many people, I believe, in the U.S. who rarely, if ever, drink water. Uh, I do think that generally, especially in the everywhere except for the Southwest and I guess like kind of the middle uh, Great Basin area where it's very dry. Um, this country is a fairly wet country in terms of like we have like a very good infrastructure for our water. So we are like we can drink all the water we want, kind of, and that's not necessarily true in some places.
Mm-hmm. I believe Flint, Michigan, finally has clean water again.
Wow, I was just thinking about that the other day, actually.
I mean,
I
I could be wrong,
wonder.
but I believe. I mean, it took way too long, obviously, but I believe it's been resolved.
Well, that's
Someone please correct me if I'm wrong.
I hope so. I
Yes.
don't want to be spreading false information about this because if it is not, that is horrifying.
Yeah.
I, you know, this this makes me think that this idea makes me think that if we were really like if we had been able to plan ahead a little bit more on this episode, I think that setting up like a find like a nice water-based charity to kind of
Mm.
guide people towards um, getting people clean water. That would have been great.
But we don't want people to think there wasn't a lot that went into the show.
Um,
It's just something we didn't think of that we'll have to bring up next time. Is charity donations always a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, I also encourage anyone watching who has the disposable income to do so, to go find a water-based charity. Um, sorry we didn't provide you with one. Not this time. It just came into my
This time.
mind right now.
Now, you're you're an outdoor cat, Hot.
Yeah.
You've gone on lots of outdoor rural adventures. Have you used one of those smart straws or one of
Um,
those filtration systems?
not a smart straw. I have used a filtration system before. And actually, the story that I alluded to earlier, um, part of it was using a bladder system uh, of where you like fill one pack and then you run it through a filter um,
Hmm.
into another one, which is actually I really enjoy that. I have one of those myself. It takes a little bit longer than just like a life straw or whatever, or iodide pills or
Interesting.
whatever. But I like it for kind of like a longer trip. It can be very nice.
So, so I guess you would use, you know, water from a stream or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, and I've heard uh, uh, even if water looks clear, there could be a lot of stuff in it that you can't see that could
yeah,
not agree with you.
yeah. It's true. I will say that um, there was a time uh, once when I was traveling, and I was in kind of central Oregon at some hot springs there. And the hot springs, right down, like the hot springs were kind of up on the side of a mountain, and down from there was a river. Um, and if you kind of took a fairly short hike uh, up the river, you could find a spring where the water was just gushing out. Like it was like the size of a room gushing out. Uh, and I did uh, just take my water bottle, like my Nalgene, and just put it there and drink it. Um, and it was wonderful. It was so just like so.
Tell me everything about this
I
water.
mean, it was just so refreshing because it was so cold and clean and clear. Like it was great.
See, I'm surprised that it's still. I mean, I don't understand. Uh, I don't know. I guess that'd be topography or natural.
Hydrology.
Yeah, sure. But I would expect that water to be on the warmer side due to
I think it
all
depends.
that pressure.
I think it really depends. Because yeah, of course the hot springs that were just up from there are water that springs from the ground that is
Hmm.
very warm. Um, yeah, but it was very cold. Maybe
Wow,
if we have any hydrologists in the audience, feel free to call in 872-228-1162 or join us at the stream link
that'd be great.
down there or comment in the future. That'd be fun too.
And did that water hydrate you?
It did. Yeah.
Always nice to hear.
I mean, it was water after all. But you do have to be careful because I don't want to get too visceral here, but I mean, one of the main problems, like if you're like just drinking from like a mountain stream or something, is like giardia, which will generally cause diarrhea, um, which is a very non-hydrating act. It really
Yes.
really depletes you.
Is that a like a parasite or a bacteria?
I think it's a bacteria.
Yeah. We don't want that.
No, just some clean filtered water.
Hmm. Now, bring it back little more local here. Do you keep a glass of water at your bedside?
I keep my Nalgene.
That's excellent.
I I have slept with a Nalgene next to me for many years now.
I've just started doing it, and it's great because I think probably some of my favorite hydration moments of my life have been those like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, roll over and your mouth is dry as a bone, and and you're you're just so relieved. You don't have to get up. Maybe you do have to get up, but it's worth it because that 3 a.m. gulp of water, so satisfying.
I mean, it is a particular kind of dry mouth that you get sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can get so like oppressive to the point where it's what wakes you up.
Right. Maybe your nose is stuffed, so you're breathing through your mouth more. Yeah, that's it. You nailed it just then.
Thanks. I practice every night.
Are you a sound sleeper?
Generally, I don't know.
Probably your hydration contributes to that.
There's this one time I got a massage from someone as a trade where I gave them a painting and they gave me a massage. They were in massage school at the time and stuff,
Mm.
um, and they were saying that like you're like you do you like drink a lot of water, uh, because like I can tell that like sometimes I give massages to people and their skin like is really like kind of rough and like doesn't move a lot, um, and yours is like you know moves and all that. I don't know. Like I can't remember. It was a while ago. I realized as I got started on that story that I didn't remember well enough what they said and was just gonna get myself into trouble. Um,
Do you moisturize? No, I hydrate.
exactly.
I moisturize with moisture.
Moisturize from the inside.
That's right. Wow. Is this? I can't remember being this far into the show without a guest. It's kind of nice.
Um,
And we love our regulars. We love our regular guests. Just interesting.
yeah, it does happen occasionally. Um, I would say, um, particularly, like there have been a few episodes where it is just me and one other person for the majority of the show.
Sometimes it be like that.
But I think this is the longest that the two of us have been here.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
like this.
enjoying it.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I'll be honest. I don't know if anyone else is coming. Um, no one else let me know for sure or anything. Um, I heard that one person likely will be unable to come. Um, but yeah, I really like the episodes kind of when it's a little bit more intimate. We get a little bit more space to kind of like just kind of get into stuff and talk. Um, it's interesting to. It doesn't always happen. Like it's really nice when it happens when it's like a guest that I've specifically asked to be on that episode, and it's like kind of an episode built with them in mind. Um, so it's interesting to kind of do it. It's been a little while since I've done it with somebody who is a regular contributor on the show, but who I haven't done it with before.
Um, so on that note, I have had hydration problems in the past. Often when I'm out, usually at some kind of event like a party or a concert, and maybe I haven't been drinking much water that day, and it's just a kind of a like a hot, sweaty room, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get real dizzy, and I'll start to just get the spins, and it's a problem sometimes. And one time at a show, I like fell straight forward, like just timber from dehydration.
Man, it's too bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
dehydration is a serious thing. Um, I uh, yeah. I was gonna say that the first time I ever went skiing, um, I got too dehydrated and I couldn't ski anymore, and I just spent the rest of the time in the lodge uh, drinking hot chocolate to rehydrate. Maybe not the best rehydration choice, uh, but it ruined skiing for me in a large way because uh, like it is not a pleasant feeling to be dehydrated like that.
No, and I've never gone skiing, but um, I imagine you got a lot of gear on.
Yeah,
You got a lot of insulation. Your body's fully insulated, and then you're kind of strapped in, so you feel kind of confined.
yeah, I can imagine there's like a confined feeling like that. This was a long time ago, so I don't remember the specific feelings right necessarily. But I do also like a lot of times it's much drier in the winter, um, which can be a dehydrating factor.
Yes. Was
Um,
this your first time skiing?
it was my first time skiing
Wow,
and last time skiing, I believe.
man.
No, maybe not last time, but yeah, not many times.
Never done it. Never skied, never snowboarded. It'd be
It's
fun.
expensive.
Yeah.
That's why I had not done it, despite spending a large chunk of time in a very ski friendly and place in Montana.
Mm. You get a lot of like ski and snowboarder like tourism,
Uh,
Montana.
yeah, there is kind of.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not as huge as some other places. Like Aspen and stuff is like obviously like places like that are so huge. Or what's that other one in? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, we got some, but mostly it was like such a huge part of like what people did during the winter there.
Right.
Like all my friends got into skiing and stuff.
Yeah, I remember coming back from winter break, growing up, and other kids would have like those tags on their zippers of their coats
Uh-huh.
from the lifts.
Yeah.
They'd like keep it there as long as possible, like a badge, like a trophy.
Yeah.
And it seemed like everyone went to ski together on winter break, except for me. Except for me.
Everybody went skiing
Yeah,
except for me. Yeah.
that's
Um,
right.
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I mean, I think it is a pretty fun thing, but also there are a lot of other cool things to do, and like drinking some water.
Boy, you're telling me.
Uh, Anybody watching? Just want to extend it out again that the lines are open. If you do want to try, if you want to have anything to say, any water stories, um, your opinions about water.
Tell us your water stories, would you? Come on. Now, do you have any? Do you have like a goal, a hydration goal? Like, do you try and drink one Nalgene a day, three Nalgenes a day?
No, I don't have a specific goal that I go for. I know some people are very specific about that. I just try to keep myself hydrated. I try to listen to my body uh, telling me whether or not I'm thirsty, um, and kind of other things too. Like if I start noticing that I'm kind of like getting a little more agitated than maybe I usually would, I'll, oh, yeah, I haven't been drinking water. That's what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have
So
a
many
goal?
problems can be solved from drinking water.
Yeah, it is
Just
kind
like
of true.
not feeling right, drink water.
One of
I don't have hard goals. If I consume an entire Nalgene, um, that's I'll be like, oh, okay, like I'm doing pretty well, and I don't know if that's you know where that's at in the daily recommended hydration, but for me that's pretty good, especially when I'm at work. If I get through a whole one of these,
yeah,
I'm doing
that's
well.
always a thing, is like being at work or um, to keep staying hydrated while you're working or going to school or something like
Hmm.
that. That is a real struggle, but very important still. Especially one of the things that I've recently been doing more like working out and stuff. Um, and I'm noticing I have to drink more water than I used to. Um, I think it's especially important to be drinking water. And I think I like knew that, but I didn't, because I hadn't like really worked out in a while. I didn't like know it in a visceral way of like, oh, well, yeah, I really have to stay on top of this now.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll forget when I'm going to do something active to maybe I can't bring a water bottle to where I'm going necessarily, or but I'll forget to hydrate beforehand. Think, why am I having such a hard time? Oh yeah,
I didn't hydrate.
hydrate.
I do see we have an Amy, a wild Amy has appeared in the chat.
Mhm. And speaking of that, Pokemon reference, I was gonna say Squirtle was always my main growing up, which is the most hydrated Pokemon and pro hydration Pokemon. And I just want to give a shout out to Squirtle.
I mean, yeah,
Always my main.
I support giving a shout out to Squirtle. I would maybe push back a little bit to the idea that Squirtle is the most hydration friendly Pokemon. Um,
Mm.
because Squirtle also spends a fair amount of time outside of the water. And there are plenty of water Pokemon that are only in the water. But at the same time, I guess it like one of the things like Squirtle eventually evolves into Blastoise, which is just like two cannons of hydration.
And you can't sleep on Bulbasaur. Because as a plant Pokemon, probably just big fan of photosynthesis and that involves water and Bulbasaur as a plant Pokemon probably loves hydrating. But you know who doesn't is Charmander. And
Yeah,
and on
well,
another show I might sing Charmander's praises, but not
it
tonight.
is
Not
after
tonight.
all the hot show.
Yeah,
But
I just can't do it tonight.
yeah, I understand. I understand. Um, I'm gonna see if I remember how to do this. Somebody's here, and it's Max. Hey,
Hello,
Max.
Max.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
Hydrating.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, I love it.
Are you hydrating well today?
Yep.
Good.
You can tell if you're well hydrated because your pee should be mostly clear.
Yeah, but not all the way, right?
Yes.
Not all the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually hydrate too much. That's my problem. Usually not hydrating too little.
Now, is that your main water bottle you use to hydrate?
Yeah, because I lost all my other water bottles. I kept leaving them in random places.
Oh man.
Did you used to have quite an assortment?
No, but I kept losing them and then getting a new one and then losing them. I haven't lost this one for a while though.
That's good. It's always rough when you lose a water bottle and you're like in that between state where like you haven't gotten another one and you like I don't know, you have to like use a glass all the time but you're not used to using a glass, so you
I don't like using glasses. I will use like a peanut butter jar or a mason jar rather, because if I don't have something with a lid on it, I will spill it no matter where I go.
Yeah.
It's like I think that there's this part of my brain that automatically decides if I'm thinking not to do something, then I'll subconsciously do it. Like one time in high school, my friend told me that he had surgery, so don't punch him or don't touch his shoulder. And that was the one time in my entire life I punched him in the shoulder. It felt really bad, and I still think about it because it's like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
But was it worth it?
No, it wasn't. It was just an automatic subconscious thing.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine you like I've known you for quite a while. It's hard for me to imagine you be like doing that like friendly like punch in the shoulder.
Yeah, well now I think I'm traumatized, so I don't know if I would be able to do it even if I wanted to.
Yeah, there's something I don't like drinking from glasses either. And there's something, even if you had like a water bottle the same volume as a glass, like I always end up drinking water from a glass like super quick Whereas if I had a water bottle that was the same volume, I'd drink it at like a much slower, consistent pace.
That makes me think about the fact that I also spill on myself a lot more when I drink from a glass. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I've lived with cats long enough that I just don't drink out of glasses because so often cats will do that. Oh, we have a dissenting opinion here.
Somebody likes to spill.
Yeah, Amy likes to spill water, apparently.
Yeah, but I think this is a.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah,
It's just a weird take.
it's interesting.
Doesn't seem like that lend itself to proper hydration.
A wine glass would be like the worst, most easy thing to spill.
Yeah, but also I feel like there is a preference towards being more careful. Like if it's just kind of like a regular old glass, like I feel like with a wine glass you have to be like, okay, I know there's a wine glass right there, and I'm not going to mess with that.
I think it's because I have ADHD, but that doesn't work for me.
I don't know.
I either
That's just
get way
my
wrapped up
thinking.
in the moment, or I have that thing where I will be like, "Don't do that," and then that makes me do it. Well,
Amy, everyone's spilling wine glasses all the time.
Oh,
if you haven't spilled a wine glass, you're lying to yourself.
Okay.
What's a
stemless.
stemless wine glass?
That's not okay. You can't just be talking about wine glasses this whole time and then just now say, "Oh, by the way, I've been talking about stemless wine glasses."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree a little bit with that. As much as
Come on.
I agree, I understand now where you're coming from much more. Wine glass,
Am I wrong in thinking that a stemless wine glass is just a cup?
but
Is there some
it is.
difference?
I mean, it still has that shape, the wine glass shape.
So it's just like a rounded cup.
Yeah.
There's no plastic taste.
I I I understand where you're coming from with this. It also depends. Like, I mean, if you're talking about water bottle, like bottled water, like definitely plastic taste. But Nalgene, I generally don't have it
Nalgene?
unless it's been like sitting out in the sun for a while or something. You might get like a tiny bit of like a different plastic taste or something.
Yeah, I taste plastic very strongly in bottled water, but I never taste it in the water bottle.
Yeah.
So I just want to share with our viewers that what a stemless wine glass looks like in case they're like me and they don't know.
Mm.
It really is a cup. This actually looks pretty stable to me.
Yeah, I mean it's like a wine glass without a stem.
Right. But the way it is, like, it looks pretty stable.
Yeah.
It's like a water glass, but a little more sensual.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
This one even has like a.
She curvy.
Oh wait, that's a reflection. I thought it had like a base on it. That's just a reflection.
All right, I think we've explored that enough. I wrote a little song for this episode.
That's great.
It's pretty short. I'm going to see if I can play it if you're interested in hearing it.
Absolutely.
Remember, remember to hydrate. Oh, how am I forgetting it? I will say I did write it this morning. Remember to hydrate wherever you are. Just find a tap water bottle, a clear mountain spring, and let's take a drink. Just a little short song to get us drinking some more water.
Clap,
It would be cool
clap,
to be able
clap.
to drink from a clear mountain stream that you know isn't polluted.
Yeah, I told a story earlier that I did one time. I
Where was it?
saw where it was coming out of the side of the mountain in Oregon, and I just put my water Nalgene out and let it fill up. It was great.
How do you know if it's polluted or not?
I mean, it was just coming from the ground. I mean, I guess it could have been. I asked somebody who lived there for a long time, or like had spent a bunch of time there, and they said it was fine.
Well, that's probably good enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't have any problems, and it was some of the more refreshing and wonderful water I've ever had.
I do remember I took a trip to Alaska a long while ago and went to a glacier, and I was never near any like running water, but I remember just scooping up some snow and just kind of biting it, and it just being so crisp and like very clean and refreshing.
I lived
Did
in the
not get sick.
country, and it is refreshing. I've heard of people like putting maple syrup on snow or stuff, but like I think I've heard of people doing it with maple syrup that they got out of a tree and then putting it on snow that's
Ooh.
right by the tree.
That is a long process getting maple syrup out of a tree.
What's that?
I think it's a pretty long process getting maple syrup out of a tree.
Because it comes out really slowly.
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds so good, though.
Yeah,
I'd like to try it. I wonder if maple syrup from a tree tastes different from maple syrup that you can buy at a store. I don't even remember the last time I had like fancy maple syrup, if I ever did.
There is a more than discernible difference.
You've had maple syrup out of a tree?
Oh no! Well, I've had I mean, I imagine I've had some nicer maple syrup that is probably straight from the
Well,
source.
I mean, like fresh.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say there's probably almost certainly a difference. Like, I mean, I'm very well aware of the difference between maple syrup that is real maple syrup and maple syrup. For
yeah,
sure, there's a huge difference there. But I bet there's a big difference even between fresh maple syrup right out of the tree and like something that you can even get in a store. Just because everything is more delicious when it's fresh.
That's true.
Have you ever
Unless
had milk straight from like it's been milked like minutes ago?
I don't think so.
There's a very big difference between that because it's pasteurized, so it's not
Mhm.
Yeah,
just the freshness.
yeah. There are some things that are that like processed um, that like you wouldn't that aren't the same at all. Like olives or something. Nobody wants to eat fresh olives.
I have a story about that.
You have a
My
story
mom
about
lived
that?
in, yeah, my mom lived in California for like a year, and she either had an olive tree where she lived, or uh, it was she got olives because she would ask people if she could pick their fruit.
Hmm.
And anyway, one time she sent me a huge box of like different fruits and some olives she tried to make, but they didn't really work because they didn't get processed enough, so they were very bitter and
Mm.
bad. But for some reason, I found that if I like put one in my mouth and just like ate it really, really, really slowly, it wasn't really bad, and I kept doing it for some reason. But I do really like olives too. But my mom keeps asking me ever since I saw some olive trees at this park near me to get her olives, and they didn't have any, or there were like some on the trees, but they were all rotten. But anyway,
Hmm.
I've been keeping her updated because the trees flowered a few weeks ago, and now they have tiny olives growing on them. She wants them.
So why aren't they the same as ones you get
They have
at
to
a
be
store?
processed.
Yeah, there's like a process. Like you only get olives if they're in like kind of briny stuff,
Okay?
right?
And that
Like
brine is really important, and they have to
yeah,
stay in that brine for a long time.
yeah, they
Mm.
do.
And actually, a lot of the olives you buy at stores are processed with lye, like the lower quality ones.
Hmm.
The higher quality ones, like you can tell if they're processed with lye because they have like a strangely over plumped, like they're overly smooth compared to non lye processed olives.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like the ones that are not processed better. But
I'm a recent olive convert.
oh,
Grew
that's
up not liking olives, and now I appreciate the kind of weird saltiness.
I grew up liking olives, and my family grew up eating like olives and pepperoncini and all of that stuff, and I was always eating it. But I
Thanks
love
for
to hear
being.
that there's that's possible for a new convert because most people are like, I hate olives or I like olives, and they never ever seem to change. And I think it's an acquired taste.
You know what I learned recently?
Thanks for being here,
Isn't
Amy. It's good to see you.
by Amy.
Oh, she's leaving by, or they're leaving by.
I always thought those in like martinis, especially like in the '60s, those white things were a variety of olives, but they're onions. They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
a crystal onion or uh, crescent onion or there's a name for them,
Hmm.
but it's a variety of onion.
A crystal onion would make sense because they're kind of translucent.
Mm-hmm. Looking it up right now.
I'm gonna
Pearl onion.
pearl. Oh, I think I've heard of those. Pearl.
Yeah, they look like this.
They do look like that. Another thing like that that is really good is Chardonnay. It has like not cucumbers, carrots. What's that stuff called? Cauliflower. I think it can have sometimes those onions in it.
Mm-hmm. You no longer live in the land of Jardinera. You used to. Now you don't.
I didn't really come across Jardinera that much when I was in the Chicago area, but there was a restaurant, like a sandwich shop I went to that had it as an option, and it seemed like it was like either they made it or locally made, and it was a very spicy kind. Like
Mm-hmm.
I buy this kind from like you can get it at any grocery store pretty much, and it's kind of spicy, but it's not that spicy, so it's like more of a snack.
Yeah, I mean, I think the basic ingredient it's carrot, cauliflower, and jalapeno, or maybe not jalapeno, but some kind of hot pepper.
No, I think you might be right because thinking back to that one, it seems like it did have jalapeno, but this kind that I have doesn't. It doesn't really seem to have any source for the heat, so they must take it out.
And I have to say, overall, Jardinera not very hydrating.
No, it has a lot of salt. Actually, a lot of the stuff we're talking about has a lot of salt.
It's true.
But it also has brine, which is water.
Yeah, but brine
is salt water.
Yes, by its definition, salt water.
Right.
Water everywhere. I'll drop the thing.
I drink it. When I was a kid, I would pretend it was like
right now.
I would pretend it was like a martini or a shot, and I would drink the juice of pepperoncini or pickles. And actually, I think drinking pickle juice is a very good cure to acid reflux.
Love pickle juice.
It's really good.
Yeah, if it's happening because you don't have enough acid, yeah, something like pickle juice can be very good for.
Because you can drink like a diluted vinegar, but
right,
it's usually pretty harsh.
Or I've liked apple cider vinegar for that, diluted apple cider vinegar, but it is weird. Yeah. It can be very strange.
It's pretty harsh. But I have used that, but one time I ran out of apple cider vinegar, so I just thought, oh, maybe I could try pickle juice, and it wasn't as harsh, and it helped. So
it's nice.
I started using that more. But apple cider vinegar is supposed to be good for you, but I don't know how much of the good benefits of it are actually real versus just.
I mean, I think the problem is that it's like one of those things that I think it's really good for you if it's like a living culture, because it's like kind of like kombucha and stuff where like it's alive and like there's bacteria in there, or like yogurt or something too. Like yogurt's good for you. Something like sugary Yoplait is not good for you, like because it doesn't have any of the probiotics anymore.
I mean, it's still probably good in some ways.
Well, yeah, I mean it's better than other stuff, but it's loaded with sugar and doesn't have the probiotics.
Right.
Now, there's some images of some water sources that I've compiled for tonight's show that, if you don't mind, I'd like to share. I think we can discuss them.
Sure. Before we go into that, or while you're getting that ready, I think I'm going to take the first bathroom break of the night in order to eliminate some of the water that I've been drinking and to refill my bottle.
Smart.
Yeah. So I'll
Godspeed.
BRB.
Do your thing. Now, that water bottle's on the smaller side, Max. Do you find you have to refill it more often?
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And can I get a good look at the mouthpiece? Is it a squeeze bottle?
No, it's not a squeeze bottle.
Oh, it's just a. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. You can take like a smaller sip, or it encourages that.
Right, because on mine, if you get a little overzealous, it's bad news bears.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I
and
used to
that
have.
happens a lot.
Yeah, I had one like that, like an Nalgene type. That was one of I lost fairly recently. I had that problem, like also with like I'm laying down and I want to drink water. I'm too lazy
Oh,
to get up.
such a tricky thing drinking water from many vessels when you're lying down.
Yeah, maybe it shouldn't be done, but I continue to try.
Now, I'm going to take a page from Hot's book and also refill and evacuate.
Are you gonna refill it with your pee?
No, I'm not going to Bear Grylls it.
That would be really efficient.
No, although we were talking about smart straws earlier and like filtration systems, so maybe we can test that in the future. You know, by the way, Hot, while I'm thinking about it, if this episode ends up becoming the equivalent of the Crane game for the Hot Show, then I'll be very pleased. If this is our like unsung, unappreciated episode, then I'll consider it a success.
I mean, I will say I'm enjoying myself quite a bit. I think it's been pretty nice and just very relaxing and hydrating.
Yeah, it's been good. On that note, I'm gonna take a page from your book and evacuate and rehydrate.
Now, I want to. This has nothing to do with really anything that has happened on this episode. But if you were watching the last episode, or if you were here for the last episode, um, we had a caller. The first, I think, the first caller that we've ever had on the show. And what they did was briefly yell, and then tried calling back in again and couldn't get it to work. Um, I just looked at um, my calls on the Google Voice number. Um, they tried apparently calling me on Tuesday. That same person tried calling me back on Tuesday. If you're watching, I believe that was Mr. Raccoon Boy. If you are checking us out again, try calling us again. I'm sorry I didn't pick it up on Tuesday. Not a hot show day, though. Thanks for trying. Yeah. Now, this came up earlier, and I'm curious about this. What is your method for getting rid of hiccups?
Somebody told me a technique that I believe is the best technique. It's at least the only one that I've ever thought actually worked, and that's just like keep thinking like I'm gonna hiccup now, I'm gonna hiccup now, and like feel the kind of like feel it and just like think about how you're gonna hit them. It actually does work.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's really different.
it is really different. I had never heard of it before, and it's the only thing that ever worked, and
Oh.
it does work for me. So
That's really interesting. I believe you have maybe told me this before in the past, but I've never done that one because I have a method that I find generally works for me.
which is what?
I mentioned it earlier, but it is holding your breath and then taking small sips of water. It generally works for me.
It's combining two different ones I've heard of that never worked, but I could see it better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up these images.
Yeah, let's check it out.
And
check it out.
Get this going.
Take a drink of water.
Wow.
Hydrating hard.
I just spilled water.
Pouring some out for the home.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that was captured on the stream. Oh,
I
man.
didn't see it happen, and I was looking at you, but I didn't see like water.
Maybe there's a frame or two in there that somebody can isolate, but I also did not
clip it and ship it. Oh boy. Okay.
Okay, dog.
So
I think we're gonna have to zoom in on this if possible.
I don't know about y'all, but I remember water tasting excellent from these fountains growing up.
Generally, yes. I agree.
Um,
I always liked water fountains. I remember it being an important aspect of my life at one point of always knowing where all the water fountains were around me. And just so that like anytime I walked past any of them, I could just take a quick sip.
Yeah. You'd come across those kids who would put their mouth around the spigot.
Yeah, we don't like that.
No.
Especially
not like now. Especially not now.
No. But it was a gamble sometimes, because sometimes it would be like it hadn't like the motor hadn't turned on, it hadn't like engaged in a while, and you might get kind of like lukewarm, tepid water, and then if you got the motor to engage again and it kicked in again, boy, the coolest, crispest water.
In my memory, it didn't really take long at all for it to cool water.
Generally.
Yeah.
Like it would have bad water sometimes, but if you just held it down for a little bit.
The real issue that I remember is differing water pressures in water fountains, where you get to the water fountain, you're thirsty, and it's just a little dribble coming out.
Or it sprays across like
yes.
That's annoying and unfortunate, especially if you've already put your face down. But like, I think it was much worse when it would just be a dribble, and you would have like had to put your mouth on it in order to get water. And you just don't do that.
No, you don't.
No. And there was always a line, like especially if you were hydrating after like gym class or something like that. there was so much pressure not to take too long.
It's true.
Or you'd inevitably be told, save some for the fishes.
My school always had like a taller one and then a shorter one right next to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the kids today, I feel like these are maybe not a thing of the past, but they now have those water bottle fillers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have them like right on top of the.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think we were really allowed to have water bottles. Actually, we weren't because somebody put vodka in them apparently. So that means we have to ban every water bottle.
I feel like that's a story at every single high school.
It sounds fake.
But it really did happen at my high school.
I can imagine that it happened at most high schools. Knowing, but like the idea that kids got caught at every moment, at every high school would be surprising to me.
Yeah.
But that's such a like a mentality of the brain of a quote unquote invincible teenager. Like you're 17, like oh, I want to be cool, I want to drink, and you haven't been drinking for very long. You're not very familiar with the culture or just like alcohol itself. So you probably think, oh, clear liquid, I can get away with this. And vodka has a very strong smell, especially if you're in high school. You're probably filling your water bottle with very cheap vodka, which has a stronger smell, a stronger, worse smell. And the minute you take a sip, your breath stinks of it. So it's pretty easy to get caught.
I suppose.
They should mix it with water.
Now, I think the people who think that putting vodka in a water bottle and bringing it to school are not the same people who are thinking, I should water this down.
They should team up. That's the problem. They're not working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What a nice way to just promote collaboration in general.
Yep.
Do something that is stupid, but do it right.
And illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And illegal, yes.
All right, so I see these at restaurants a lot now for the table, and water out of these, especially just this image, the condensation. It looks like that's been in the freezer, maybe.
Maybe at least the fridge, yeah.
Or the fridge. It looks great. And whenever I'm at restaurants and I drink out of those, I pour water from one of those. I mean, and to quote Joe Parra, transferring liquids from a larger container into a smaller container is a delight. And that's definitely the case with one of those containers, transferring it into my water glass and hydrating it from it. It's a delight.
Yeah. I will agree that those are always a satisfying experience to have. The only thing that I would say against them is that oftentimes, because it's such a large bottle, but like they'll just put one down on your table or something. Not always great water service surrounding these kind of bottles.
I think they don't hold enough water too, and you always have to ask for more.
Yeah, it seems like they would hold more than they do, I think.
That's
I
true.
like the way
And
they look, though.
the
Go
way
ahead.
what?
I like the way they look, and I also like that they're cold but don't require ice because I don't really like ice.
Mm. And now that I'm thinking about it, they don't pour particularly well. It just
Yeah.
kind of shoots out. Even if you pour slowly, it just comes out very rapidly.
I do think that the satisfaction of using the bottle um, generally makes up for that.
But where does that style of bottle was definitely not originally for water. Where does that style come from?
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Is it wine?
I imagine it's just people starting by, to use old wine bottles.
Hmm. Oh, and I guess the top is a cork substitute.
Yeah, that's what made me think wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and it has that little like top lift
Mm-hmm.
top thing.
All right.
Okay.
Now, this is carbonated water, and this is something I wanted to get to on the show. I know. Look, I feel like we are in a renaissance of carbonated water. Just there's so many brands, um, Topo Chico, Pellegrino. Um, it's at its height in popularity.
Did you
Um,
say Ellen Reno?
no,
Pellegrino.
I said Pellegrino.
It sounded like you said either Pellegrino or Ellen Reno.
Hmm. And
Like,
you decided that
no, I just
Maybe Pellegrino was started by someone named Ellen Reno.
maybe so. And they heard her name wrong, and that's how it
Mm-hmm.
became Pellegrino.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even alcohol companies, they're just. I feel like every like major company has gotten their in the game of carbonated beverages, alcoholic carbonated beverages.
like
But that's not
seltzers
what we're
and
talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
seltzers.
yeah, we're
Um,
not. This is not talking about seltzers.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
White Claws are not going to hydrate you. So
I don't think any alcohol is.
no,
I don't think
no,
so either.
no,
Not a
um,
night for alcohol.
no,
Night for water.
no. It's a night for water, guys.
Yeah, I need to get more.
But I just never liked carbonated water.
I will be honest. I do not have very much experience with it. Um, Mostly, what is coming to mind is um, I don't know if you've watched Ted Lasso,
Yes.
uh, but the that first episode, just going for some water and spitting it right out because oh, it's carbonated. Why is it carbonated? I imagine that I would do that. Like not quite as you know dramatic or comedic as Ted Lasso, but uh, if someone just handed me some water, I would not be expecting carbonated water.
No. And I know it's sometimes almost like a status symbol.
Hmm.
Like, oh, we don't serve flat water, we serve Topo Chico or one of the other ones, and that's nice and all, but um, uh, if I'm given the option, I choose still, even if it's room temp every time.
Oh, I don't know if I would like if I'm warm and I I have the choice between room temperature still water and cool carbonated. I'd probably go for carbonated. Because I'd go for the coolness over the uh, like
Mhm.
over the carbonation factor.
Can't drink it too quickly though.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I don't know. I guess I've never been in this situation. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have tons of experience with the carbonated water.
Yeah, but it is interesting how popular it is. I was at um, a small gathering of folks recently, and it was BYOB encouraged, and mostly people brought like packs of beer or a small bottle of something, and someone brought a 12 pack of Topo Chico, and not the alcoholic Topo Chico, just the the classic, and it was a hit.
I've never even heard of Topo Chico.
I've heard of it. I've seen it around.
Sounds good.
Just by name, just by name alone.
Well, it was a hit.
Yeah, I mean it's carbonated water, and I know some enthusiasts of it probably would disagree with me, but
Is it flavored?
they probably have flavors of it, but I believe the classic is just
Huh. Interesting.
Carbonated water.
carbonated water.
No, that doesn't sound like great.
I remember growing up, going to a friend's house and getting a. They had just gotten a Soda Stream, and in
Yeah,
my
house?
head they made it seem like, yeah, for their house, like
What?
one of those. Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I guess I know what you're talking about, but like, that's quite a luxury.
It is kind of, but they're like not that expensive, are they?
No, I think Hot might be thinking of something different. This is
Okay.
probably like the size of a coffee maker.
Okay.
It's a
Like,
smaller appliance, but
It is a luxury, but not a super expensive one.
I guess I was thinking
Right.
of a real stream. Like that you could
What?
wait.
No, like in Willy Wonka, like a chocolate river,
But
right.
it's made out
but
of
it's a
soda.
Soda Stream.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a luxury that I have not experienced in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, now I have to.
You gotta go.
But I remember thinking, oh, you homemade soda. You get to have soda whenever you want, and you make it
But it's
yourself.
crap.
That's so cool. And I remember it being one of the more disappointing moments of my life.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I've never had soda from a Soda Stream. Why was it disappointing?
It doesn't taste like soda.
What does it taste
And I know it just tastes like carbonated water with and they have, little flavorings, but it's like,
I think it's supposed to be like actually flavored like soda.
yeah, but even with the flavorings, it was very disappointing.
Like it doesn't put enough in.
No, and maybe that's the point, that it's like a healthier option to buying soda.
I don't think so.
Probably is.
Are you sure your friend just was maybe not doing it right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. So you could be entirely correct on that, Max.
I mean, I guess maybe I just got the impression that that was what it was supposed to be. But
Could be. I was never big like into LaCroix. Like people love their LaCroix, and
I play LaCroix sometimes, but I don't love it. I like it. And I actually have a bunch of it in my house right now, including this peach pear.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like kind of like a snack. You know what I mean? But it's just flavored water without any sugar, so it has no bad health effects. So I think it can be good for that.
Saw this thing that said LaCroix is like if someone ate a piece of fruit and then burped into a bottle of water.
Yeah, kind of. But like,
Their burps would have to be very strong.
but like, still pleasant. Like, or at least like not unpleasant.
Yeah, I would say it's not unpleasant. Not like
LaCroix,
really
not
enjoyable,
unpleasant.
Yeah.
but it's fine. It's like maybe a good alternative if you are wanting to eat something, but you're like, I don't want to eat something unhealthy.
Right.
It's not unpleasant and it's not unhealthy,
Hey.
but it's not pleasant or healthy.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next image.
Yeah.
Now,
Is that a bunch of ice?
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite.
I think it's so icy
Water vapor?
that it's steaming off of there.
Yeah.
There's condensation just
Sublimation.
rising.
That's called sublimation.
My God, he's right. Now, this would be hard to hydrate with.
It would be. Unless you just waited for it to cool down.
Yeah, I mean, if you have patience, it's not hard.
Well, sometimes I'm impatient, hot.
Well, then you probably shouldn't boil water because it takes a while.
Especially if you're trying to watch it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're boiling it so it cools down so you can drink
it. I will say that this boiling water, if you don't have a life straw or a water filter, you need to get water. It is the best way to hydrate yourself.
If it's like outside.
Yeah, if you get it from like a stream or something.
That's true. As long as it's not like chemically infected with pollution.
Yeah. Right.
I actually watched a YouTube video about that recently where it showed like microscope view of what's in water before it was boiled and after. And it was like pond water or puddle water. And the difference was staggering.
And it was drinkable?
I mean, pretty much everything was dead. So yeah, like 99.999% of everything was dead. So yeah.
Interesting.
It works.
Yeah. I mean, I know, feel like we touched on this earlier. There are some towns that don't have the best water, and they have what is it called? But not boil alerts, boil
orders.
Boil orders. Yes.
That reminds me of the town I lived in Iowa. The water always smelled like chlorine.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was gross.
I mean, if you live in the sticks, you probably have to deal with some sulfury water.
Not really. I've known people who had water like that, but where I lived, it was never really an issue. I guess maybe I was just lucky. I don't know if it's really that common. I think it like depends on, like a well problem or something.
Yeah, I guess I was more thinking about well water.
I did live on a farm, but the water there was good. But of course, that's very um, random. Like, wherever you live could have a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My my brother has well water, um, and it tastes strange. But after spending so much time there and just drinking their water, um, I'm just used to it now. Like I don't think of it. And it's funny. He has a son. I mean, he has children, and what his son doesn't like the taste of other water, but is fine with his well water.
What do you think it makes it taste strange? Is it like
Yeah,
minerals?
it's minerals. Yeah, it's definitely minerals.
Is it like bitter or what?
Um, I don't know how you describe the
Is it
taste of
metallic?
minerals without just
This reminds me of something that's really
minerals.
interesting. It's like humans have the ability to detect metal flavors, but we
Hmm,
don't really consider that like a taste.
yeah,
Right.
But other minerals can also.
yeah. I mean, like sulfur has a very distinct taste. Um, yeah, and I've had other stuff like I had lithium water one time, and that
I've
was
never tried that.
Ashland, Oregon, uh, has like a lithium. Like there's just like a in like one of their parks. There's just a there's minerally water that you can go, and it's intense. Like it's not like just a little bit of taste. It's like, oh wow, that is like mineral water. Um,
And that was lithium.
I think it had other stuff too, but lithium was one of the main ones. I think.
Hmm.
I could be wrong about this.
That's a treatment for bipolar disorder. So
That's
that's
what
a,
I was thinking. Yeah,
like
yeah. It's like an antipsychotic or something.
it is something. Yeah.
It is for it is used for bipolar
Wow.
and
That.
manic depression.
Oh, also. Oh, they don't call it manic depression.
Oh yeah, I for some reason, I in my head I was like, they don't call it bipolar. They call me no, it's the other way. You're absolutely right.
Um, have we discussed alkaline water? Because that's a
No,
big fad right now.
no. What's that?
Oh, you haven't heard of it? It's like alkaline water because your body's too acidic. And you need alkaline water because it's healthier. But it's also not really true because your body keeps itself at a specific pH balance or you would die.
Yeah, though I imagine there's a range within that.
Probably.
So it's kind of a trend.
It's a trend.
I totally believe that because I know that I've met people before that like if I was sick or something, they would tell me to uh, you know do things to make myself um, more alkalized or whatever.
Hmm.
I loved hearing about people doing cleanses. And it's like your body does that
Yeah, it's
anyway.
basically that kind of.
Well, I mean I know that people go really crazy with it, but I will say that like if you're constantly putting junk into your body doesn't have time to process it all. So like yeah, your body does do that on its own, but if you don't give it time to or the opportunity to, then it's just going to build up.
Like what?
I don't know, like if you're just constantly eating like foods that your body isn't good at processing, like I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking of like maybe like super processed foods, or like I mean even I don't know, like certain kinds of meat I know like take longer for your body to process, um, and but like I mean I don't know if this one's exactly true, but like yeah, I don't know, you have to let your body process things. That's why fasting can be good for people sometimes, like because it lets their body like get to that point of like, oh, now I'm using all the like extra junk I have stored
Hmm.
because I haven't had a chance to process it.
Hmm. I think
Interesting.
that it would be very selective on what things your body can process.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ryan's more speaking about like the idea that your body is purging some kind of chemical or something.
Yeah,
That's
I
not the word though.
yeah, I
Right.
know. Uh,
But usually things like that are like not really slow. It's like you can eat a certain amount of mercury in fish every month, but you don't want to go over that.
right. Well, and that's but like that's kind of what yeah, what I mean is
Yeah.
like that like your body can only process that much in a month, and so if you don't give it the time to like process that mercury, then it's going to build up and it's going to make you insane.
Um, I guess I wasn't saying you can just eat whatever you want and your body will
Yeah,
cleanse
yeah.
it,
No,
but
yeah,
I think the benefits, there's probably not much benefit of doing a juice cleanse over just eating well, eating like
right,
a
right.
healthy,
Yeah,
balanced diet
I
with
agree.
I think that
with
would
good
be worse
portions.
because juice has a ton of sugar and no fiber.
Right.
Right.
It has some vitamins in it, which is good, but yeah. I'm trying to think of the word that I've heard used a lot.
I I think that I know it, but I am also having trouble coming up with it.
Let's go to the next image.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what's going on.
So there's a lot of water here.
Really?
However, it's cold. It's cold water. It's really cold water.
Yeah,
It's blue. That's how you know it's cold.
Yeah.
it's true.
Do you think this is probably the inspiration, for the Coors Light can? You know,
Cold.
when the
This,
when the when the when the can is blue, when the glaciers on the can are blue, it means it's as cold as the Rockies, and you can drink it.
I
Isn't
will
that what
say,
they say?
yeah. Though I will say they probably got their inspiration maybe a little bit more so from the Rockies. This does not seem to be a picture of the Rockies.
No.
Yeah, because there's not any rocks, it's all water.
Yeah, only water.
All right.
As far as I can tell, this is only an image of water.
Mhm. This is an image of water, guys.
You could take a
Um,
picture of nothing and call it an image of water because of the water vapor.
What? How,
hmm.
I I'm curious how you're taking a picture of nothing. Um,
No, I was actually
Yeah.
thinking.
What are you picturing in your head?
because in my
I was
mind,
thinking about that.
like once I'm taking a picture of nothing, there's a lot of something behind that nothing.
Well, maybe the sky would be a good
yeah,
way to
but
do that.
I would say if you're taking a picture of the sky, you are not taking a picture of water.
But there's water vapor there.
There is water. I mean, you are taking a picture of water, but not only water.
Well, what if you're not saying this is only a picture of
Okay.
water? You're just saying this is a picture of water. Technically true.
All right.
I
Just
mean,
like
it's
a picture
not.
with a boiling pan was a picture of water, but it also had a pan on the stove or a pot in the stove.
And the water vapor.
Yeah, it had water vapor. So
Really, every picture that you could ever take is a picture of water, unless you're taking a picture in space or something.
It's not literally a picture of nothing. It's maybe the monotony of life, and what's happening in the picture. Maybe something happens to you on the way to work, and that's what the picture is about.
what?
But it's really,
I
it's
was-
a picture of water.
Yeah, I was making a Seinfeld joke.
Oh,
It's a show about nothing.
All right.
Didn't land.
yeah.
It didn't.
I didn't get it. It's okay though.
Let's move on to another image.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now,
Why is
I've
this
always
telling me all over it?
And has
the,
a bunch of little A's.
Yeah. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think the word alamy actually exists on this leaf. But I could be wrong.
Well, it's in a picture, so
Yeah.
this picture tells 1,000 words, and almost all of them are alamy.
Some of them are A.
Yeah.
A alamy.
Yeah,
It should be an alamy.
I've always wanted to
maybe it's a star.
find like a sizable pool of water like collected on a large leaf after like a big rain and just slurp it up.
It would be nice to do that, but I wouldn't do it in a city.
Perhaps not. Also, I don't think there are leaves this large in a city.
There are some decently large leaves in Chicago. Catalpa leaves are fairly large. Maybe, but they're not in such a way that would collect water.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of large leaves in Los Angeles.
But
Some
not a
good
lot of
alliteration
rainy
there.
days.
What's that?
I said that was some good alliteration there.
Oh.
And I
A
said,
lot of large leaves in Los Angeles.
not a lot of rainy days, though.
Not a lot of rainy days at
No.
all. I'm worried about this summer being very smoky.
Yeah. It's going to be 80 degrees on Saturday.
It was 94 degrees like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Must be nice.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it cold where you guys are still?
Not really.
I mean, this like the last few days have been like 40 degrees.
So
today was really nice. Today was like 66.
But cold? No. It has not been cold.
Not cold. I think I would consider 40 a little cold.
I mean, I guess.
But that's very subjective.
But like, if you say still cold, I'm comparing it to winter.
Right.
Like, that's where my mind went.
I mean, Chicago spring takes forever.
That's a good thing.
I mean, even after this 80-degree day, it's going to go back down to 50.
Yeah. That was what winter was like here. Like it would get cold and then be like spring and then it'd get cold. Although, of course, cold is very relative. Like it wasn't really in the 40s very much. I think it did get below freezing like one day, but not very long.
Now, let's see what else we have. Oh my God, you guys. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know how they got in there. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're not here to discuss
strange looking water.
We're not.
Why was it
That's not.
wrong?
That's not what this show is about. And I just want to apologize to you guys and to our viewers. I don't know how they got in there. Weird.
First of all, that was some pretty dirty looking water.
Yeah.
And second of all, when you drink water, Max, it looks like you're drinking the room behind you.
I know, it's so weird. I was trying to show Ryan my water bottle and it wasn't working.
Not only do you have such a fancy place, but you can drink your place.
Wow.
Nope.
Do you remember? I mean, I don't want to get political. We don't have to discuss this for too long. But when Trump drank that water bottle, and it was like an alien was drinking a water bottle. It was like
yeah. And then people were like, he drinks water like an alpha man. The only reason you don't drink is beta.
I don't remember hearing that commentary.
This is how an alpha man drinks water.
Okay, so we got a comment. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody's here. It's garbanzo. Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. You got some water with you?
Got some water with you? Yeah.
You're going big mason jar.
Oh yeah.
I do 2 of these a day, so it's a gallon.
Oh man. See, he's got a water goal. He's got hydration goals.
Yeah.
I've got goals.
That's goals right
the
there.
only goal you have in life. That's a good one.
Yeah, really.
Good goals.
Honestly, if that was your only goal in life,
You'd live a long life.
You'd live a long life. I mean, you might have to like divert sometimes to like eating a little bit and stuff. But also, I think that generally your life would probably be pretty happy because you don't like everything else is just like, cherries on top. Like it's like, oh, I reached my goal of my water.
We get to drink water.
Like that's great. So before you stopped in there, I earlier on, Amy was here in the chat and said that we should check out these photos from Edward Bertinki.
What a fun name.
Yeah, it is a fun name.
Bertinki.
He makes work about water. And so I found some. So I found some of these photographs. So I thought maybe we could bring them up.
It's a beautiful
feel like these have been shown on the show before.
Have they?
I don't think I've seen it.
I've never seen this before.
All right, I'm wrong.
Well, you might not be wrong. Not everyone has been on every episode,
Yeah.
and
But between this group of people, I feel like they have. Anyway,
so
I
strange.
like this.
That's
Yeah.
a soda stream.
No, I believe that's a soda C.
A
Yeah.
soda C. What flavor?
So does he. Looks like blue raspberry.
So
Where-
where did these pictures come from?
I
Water.
don't know. Maybe they say water. There.
If you go back to
what's
the
not
picture that was
Bertinki?
showing, the water looks like asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's number 3.
It does.
Like it looks really solid.
Yeah.
But
What
it's
is happening
liquid.
there
Looks like maybe they're
Like an
trying
oil
to put a fire out.
on an oil rig?
Probably.
Fire fighting boats are an interesting thing that I haven't really thought too much about.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever.
Do
must
they
just
take
be
the
like-
water
A pump.
from the ocean right around them?
Probably.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
I'm-
is it just a pump that sucks it up and spits it out?
I'm sure it is because
Mhm.
otherwise you have to carry a bunch of water. But there's
Or maybe
water
they
all
get
around.
Oil in that
Maybe
water.
they get it out of the air.
It has to be from under the surface.
Yeah.
I
I
bet
don't
they
think
get.
they're getting water from the air.
I'm pretty sure they do. That's a really cool picture.
There's
This
a
makes
lot
me
of
sad.
crazy
Why?
water.
Is this oil in the water?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really bad.
I wonder if it all is.
That looks like algae.
Yeah, this is seems to be something else.
Or as some people say it, algaea.
Who says
Who
that?
says that?
David Attenborough.
He's wrong.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm gonna defer to David Attenborough
I'm joking. He doesn't say that.
on all. Oh, it gives more.
Floyd
Context.
McMurray.
Here we can see where these are.
Submerged pipeline.
Yeah, they're probably all oil related.
Mississippi Delta.
Shining like a national guitar.
What a beautiful photo of a terrible thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was, and this one and the one before it, not this one, the one before it are very pretty. Oh yeah, that's an oil slick.
Hmm.
There are oil-eating bacteria and algae.
I think mushrooms too.
Yeah, we can use. Okay.
So why are we looking at these?
Amy just suggested it. Thought it'd be a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah, where
I
is
think
it is.
Mexico?
It's near San Felipe in Baja, Mexico. Or as David Attenborough would say, Baja.
Beja.
Baja, Mexico.
We don't have to go through all of these, but I did think that
that one.
nice.
Phosphor Tailings Pond. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here.
I think that's kind of the point of a
abstract
lot of
image.
these pictures, that it's from a sort of disorienting. It's hard to tell what vantage point it's taken from.
Some of them, at least. All right, this
That's cool.
is very
That's not water.
cool.
That's like
Yeah.
that video game thing that you're gonna make almost. It's
What?
looking, it's starting to look a little Escher-esque with the
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of Escher quality to it, but it's like kind of like Escher mixed with like what's his name? The guy who did all the hard work for Alien and stuff.
I don't know his name off the top of my head.
This reminds me of the Mines of Moria and
Charles Schultz.
No, that was the guy who did the Peanuts.
Oh, okay.
Like, he is the inventor of the Mr. Peanut character.
Oh, H.R. Geiger.
Yes.
H.R.
Yeah.
Geiger?
H.R. Geiger.
Human Resources Geiger.
Pretty interesting.
Is this
Water.
Rice Patty?
Some polars.
Paramount.
Have you talked about the guy who took pictures of different kinds of water freezing after, like, listening to different kinds of music?
No.
Like, he would expose
No,
water
I
to
don't.
different kinds of music and
Yeah.
freeze it and take pictures of the crystal patterns.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild stuff. It like directly responds to the kinds of music it listens
Like the
to.
vibrations?
Yeah.
That makes sense, though, because the water would be vibrating from music. And that would
They're
freeze.
pretty cool. I forget the guy's name right now. Otherwise,
Yeah, I forget that too. I've heard about that though. I'm gonna. I've really been chugging water. I'm going to take the second bathroom break.
Second bathroom break.
Da, da, da.
forgot the show today. I'm happy I made it at least for the tail end. How's it been going?
Did you
It's
say
been
you
good.
Pretty much. And then I was like, I gotta get there.
What were you up to today?
Hmm?
What were you up
For a
to?
hike, and then I came home and I took a nap. And I'm currently putting off doing homework that I have to do. But I'm gonna get it done tonight.
I believe in you.
It'll happen. The proper amount of procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful cat.
Have you met him?
Mm-mm.
He's even better in person.
I bet you're right.
Yeah,
You
he's
guys-
goofy.
What's that?
He's goofy. Goofy kitty.
He's a doof nut.
You say hi to animals that you see, just like random animals that you see on the street.
Oh yeah.
And you
Oh, yeah.
say hi squirrel or hi woodchuck, right?
Yeah, like when you see a woodchuck on the street.
I don't
You
know if
know-
I've seen a woodchuck.
I saw a rooster running around in Logan Square.
Yeah, that's different. There's a lot of people that have fowl in the city,
Oh.
especially in Logan Square.
I didn't know that, and I thought it was very, very weird.
I think
Like,
I stayed
we
at a
haven't seen
hostel
woodchuck.
by Logan Square. When I
What?
The
was-
hostel?
Yeah, there was like a hostel over there.
Yeah, there are a number of them.
That's cool.
It was a nice place to stay for the price and everything.
Yeah.
Was it called Euphoria?
Euphoria?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's
Like
a-
Getaway or something.
It's a now defunct hostel in
Oh, they're
Logan
defunct
Square.
now?
well, yeah, it's just kind of evolved into something different.
Into what?
Now it's a I'm just thinking about how to describe it. It's like a shelter for like queer POC refugees, I guess.
This one's
is the
still there. I just found it. It's called the Getaway Hostel. I was right. Can't believe I fucking remembered that.
What's the address?
yeah.
616 Arlington Place in Chicago.
Check it out.
Check it out. They raised their rates quite a lot. It looks
How
like.
much is it?
Now it's $49 a night.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it was like 27 or something, I think. Somewhere around $30 a night when I went there.
I mean, everything's more expensive now.
It is.
Everything except our labor.
that gets less
Ain't
a
that the
month.
truth?
So I recently found some little bits of some old footage I just randomly had. I'm gonna bring some up because a bunch of it was water based.
Have you talked about watercolors yet? And how magical
No.
those are?
No, we haven't.
We have not.
Now we have, and we're moving on. No, just kidding.
Charles Birchfield is like the best watercolor painter in my opinion. Really good.
There's some water.
Yeah, now that's water
What a good
for sure.
coincidence
All been there.
that you pulled up this footage that contains water.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I have a friend who paints, has done some paintings that were like interiors like that. And it took him hours to paint the droplets. It was like
I bet.
I bet
so
that
much
looks
going on
cool.
there. Where is this water? What's this water?
Probably in Montana somewhere.
This would be a good thing to film in slow motion.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
I only had what I had.
Looks like a solid right there.
How long is this clip?
I don't know. I think like
The whole trip.
4 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We don't have
You
to watch
could-
this whole thing.
You could turn
No,
this
I was just curious.
You could turn this into a music video for one of your songs.
It's interesting.
4.5 minutes is long enough.
I do have some 4.5 minute songs.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Exactly.
Maybe. I have a number of songs. I could probably extend some of them out.
Or you could cut the footage.
I have some other ones of these. I only grabbed this one because most of the other ones, the camera was way too shaky. So I just didn't even bother. But like, you could probably take short snippets out for like a music video.
Yeah, it plays with the figure ground in a fun way. Right there. It looks like solid right there. That's top corner, like a cake or something.
Mhm.
I'm glad it's the weekend tomorrow. I was just thinking about that today.
I start work tomorrow.
Oh no.
Oh no,
That's
Oh,
my
no.
day.
Bad.
it's my weekend right now
Until when?
until normally it would be Saturday, but I asked it off, and
It
now
said
it's
yes.
Sunday.
Why did you ask it?
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
I love being asked off.
Not out,
I'd rather be
but
asked
off.
work than off on the work. That's for sure.
It kind of
Uh,
seems like you're talking about maybe something else when you're being asked off.
I really don't know what it would be.
Get off my lawn.
That's not asking. That's the name.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you please get off my lawn?
Hey,
if
That
you
might
wouldn't
work.
mind,
that might work better.
I am enjoying this footage.
It is very good footage.
Thank you. You'll have to thank my, let's think, probably like 23-year-old self
Wow,
for this.
this is old footage.
23.
And me.
23 and me.
23 and you.
23 and hot.
23 and us.
That's
Nope.
10
Wow,
years
that's it.
old.
That's it. All right. I
Very
have
good.
one that I would definitely like to show, but I am open to if there are other ones that you want to check out. So I have some reflections.
How do we know what you have?
Oh, I have cool water footage I can share.
I don't know. I don't think this one's particularly long. Maybe I'll play this one. Also, I think my internet's getting all funky.
It has been a little clunky.
Yeah.
A little McClunky.
McClunky. Frank McClunky.
Who's that?
I
Esquire.
don't know. It's a name that just sounds like a name.
It's a name that sounds like a name.
Most of them do.
Not all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Some names don't sound like names.
Like what?
Huh. Let me think about that.
I was just thinking about the
Names
name
that don't sound like names.
Freeman. The name Freeman
Freeman.
As a first name?
as a first name. Yeah.
Like when I
Freeman.
meet people named Sunny or Happy, that kind of thing, it's often.
I knew somebody named Sunny, and I think her mom.
Her mom what?
I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I think it was very wrong. I was going to say I think her mom's name was Happy, but I think that was something totally unrelated.
Nobody ever goes with sad.
Dolores means sad.
Troubled. This is my son. Troubled.
That would be trouble. It's really setting your child up for something.
This is kind of hypnotizing footage.
That one
It's
isn't very long.
Like jerky. Is it normally that way, or is it just?
No, it isn't normally that way.
Oh. I want to share a video that I have.
Uh,
that I took a few weeks ago.
I'm gonna show this one first because it's the reason that I started taking any videos of water in the first place is noticing this and wanting to take images of, take a video of it.
Can you tell us what's going on in this video?
Wow.
Is that in Montana?
It is in Montana.
It almost looks like animated.
Yeah, the light looks drawn on there.
Yeah. It looks especially crazy because it's choppy, but it basically looks like you're getting basically the whole thing because it's kind of just as crazy as this looks.
Is that your feet? You're standing in the water, like a stream?
No.
In a soda stream?
Those are just rocks.
Those
Is it,
are.
oh, I thought it was dishes.
We did have fish occasionally in this little
It's
creek.
amazing that like each individual like shot is so perfectly balanced. It keeps
It's
moving.
amazing all the
Space.
colors,
Yeah,
like blue and green and white,
this is really
That
orange.
center.
one of my favorite things I've ever captured with a camera.
Hmm.
I used to just, this was a creek in the backyard of the same place that I showed the cloud footage a few weeks ago. Same backyard, but there's a little creek that ran through it, and um, I used to just like lay on the little bridge and just watch this for a while because it's so mesmerizing.
Hmm.
Hello, Amy.
Max, what did you want to show?
A video of something with water. It's up in the screen sharing thing.
Oh man, I forgot like
You should
how much faster it is in real life.
use that footage for something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. I just rediscovered it recently.
Boy, the disrespect. Here's Hot showing this gorgeous footage, and
I've never seen a toilet flush quite like that.
yeah, what
Very
kind
colorful
of
too.
fucking toilets are you using?
All over the place.
That's a fancy toilet. It does that.
Yeah, the water doesn't go down, which is desirable.
Right. Maybe I'm gonna finally get back.
Is that fish filled with catnip behind you?
No. I'll show you.
Your internet is really interesting at the moment.
I
Yeah,
know.
Oh wow.
that's fantastic.
Otter loves that.
No, he does not love it, but
He
he
stays
he's
away from it.
he's he'll run. He'll attack it a little bit. We only recently got it. Stay still. You get it going again.
Now I have to ask. That's not a real fish, right?
Well, I do open it up with a zipper, so you can make of that what you will.
That's
Oh,
how
okay.
fish work.
That's what fish are like.
Yeah, it's a zipper fish.
A zipper fish.
They're hanging on by
It's
a
an
thread.
I mean, are you introducing that as a character on the Hot Show?
I mean, I don't know
Zipper
if I
fish.
yet. Yes, Amy. That is why we don't often use it.
You could leave it like just inside, like by your door, so if somebody comes in, you know they're there.
It's an interesting idea.
Robbers usually do shake
Burglary alarm.
when they walk in.
Oh.
I've got to leave soon, so I would love to show this thing and
Right.
maybe.
Get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I gotta do some homework.
How's it working?
It's playing.
That's good.
Looking cool.
What
like
is
it.
under the water?
Is that a piano?
Not a piano.
A brick?
It's not a brick.
Is it a
I can show
clavinet?
you in.
Trash can?
Nope. I'll show you. Whoops. I clicked the wrong button. But I'll figure it out.
Just ate a lot of tofu.
Nice.
You need a lot of what?
I'll drink to that.
Tofu.
Yeah, I'll change to that. Cheers, brother.
What's happening?
I'm
What
trying
are,
to find my screen so I can show you what the answer to the question you want to know. Oh, I figured it out.
Ah.
Mm.
So it was a piano.
Wait, is that
Is it like a mug?
a mug or is that a watering can?
It's
Like a mug.
It's more like a watering can, but it wasn't really that big, so it was pretty close to the size of a mug. But this was at a flower shop, so it's not a mug. I think it might be a decorative watering can.
I like the idea of what's under the water.
Yeah.
As
Mhm.
a potential game that we can play in the future.
I think that is a good idea.
You can go so many ways.
What's under the water?
It sounds like something from Sesame Street. Like, don't they have a question like, what's something? And then all the kids are like, nah.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
It's
Squirtle.
Doug Trio.
Whoa. We're going to Doug Trio on this water episode.
Yeah, sorry.
You already brought up Squirtle once.
Yeah, and Blastoise.
Squirtle's not water.
I regret that immediately.
What about Spraydle?
Dreidel?
Spraydle.
That's not a Pokemon, is it?
Squirtle evolves into Spraydle.
No, get out of here.
No, he doesn't. Don't even come around here with this false Pokemon knowledge.
Well, it should.
Pokemon fake news.
Wait, what's the isn't Blastoise the final? What's in between Squirtle and Blastoise?
Charlie.
Answer to this. It is Wartortle.
Yes.
War.
Wartortle.
Yeah.
What an interesting phase in his development.
It's like it's like Squirtle's puberty.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, fuck Wartortle.
Totally. Now, Max, you said that you probably had to leave soon. Is there anything that you'd like to throw out that we could drink to? Something going on in your life, or just something that you want to give a little toast, water toast to?
Oh yeah, I'm releasing a new song, and people voted on the cover art.
Oh, can we see which one won?
Yes, you can. Let me find it.
I was happy with the one that won. I like that color combination.
Let me find it. I was happy with the one that won too. It was actually my favorite.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, I was interested to hear other people's opinions to see if they really liked a different one or something.
When I was would go to parties and would feel socially awkward and also had a few drinks or something, feel a little dehydrated. One of the things that I would do is start walking around the party going water, 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 until I had procured myself some water. Over a long series of.
I like that.
If I go around saying money that way, I wonder if it'll come to me.
Well,
Money.
I had to seek it out. So I would generally go to the kitchen and then use a glass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you needed to do that.
Water, 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 water.
I think this is the one I voted for.
I like those fonts.
This was one. I voted for 2, and that
I
was
also
one.
voted.
This is number 2.
Yeah.
Very cool. And that's you?
No, that's a stock photo.
Where from?
Huh?
Where did you find the stock photo?
Pexels.com.
Ah.
And the fonts, I have been experimenting with a scanner and like printing out a font and then moving it around when it's being scanned. So that's why.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like the wavy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm really into it right
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll drink to that.
now.
Cheers.
I'm so hydrated.
Cool.
It's good.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's coming out on May 3rd.
May 3rd. Yeah, a lot of people are starting to release stuff.
Great. Perfect.
It's a lot of May releases.
I think
that's
it's
awesome.
pandemic-related stuff that was made during that time and is coming out.
Yeah,
now.
that makes sense. All right, taking that away.
Okay, I need to go to bed. I will see you all later.
It was good to see you, Max.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I should probably do some homework.
Are you also taking off?
I think I might.
Garbanzo.
I just got to get this done. I have to work tomorrow in the next few days.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to toast to, or would like to share?
This is a simple one, but
yes,
you don't need to refrigerate your scallions. Put them in a jar with a little bit of water, and they'll just keep growing.
Water. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might go do that as soon as this show is over.
It's nice. They live in the water. You just got to change it every
They
day.
live.
They live in the water.
And grow.
Well, it was a real pleasure to see you here, even if it was a brief visit from you today, Garbanzo.
It was
Lovely
a short
to see
one.
you.
I hope you folks have fun.
Goodbye.
Here we go.
Somebody's here. It's SHELTON.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
Hi.
It's really lovely to see you this evening.
Lovely to see you as well.
Do you have some water?
I do, and it's in a glass.
Not a wine glass.
I thought about that, and then I was like, I just think that this one's cute. So,
It's
I
nice.
like that glass.
That's nice.
however, I am also drinking a whiskey ginger. So, there's a giant ice cube in it, though. So as
Look at
that
you.
melts, it's like
I mean, it's important to stay hydrated as you become dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
it's a good way to go.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Hmm. I want to add to Garbanzo's little fact. You can do the same thing with cilantro. And it's not necessarily that it keeps growing, but it'll stay fresh, especially if you keep it in the sun. So put it in a jar, a little bottom. I do that every week, and there's some in my fridge right now.
So ever since we talked about on the show not refrigerating tomatoes, I've been doing
Real
that,
long, far callback.
and yeah, and I've been doing that, and it's nice and all, but my tomatoes go bad way quicker.
Yeah, but they still have flavor when you eat them.
Yeah, but I really like tomatoes, so I buy a lot of them, and then I can't use them quick enough.
I'm not here to critique your life. Put a couple in the refrigerator if that's fine with you, but leave some of them out so that you eat the fresh ones when they're fresh. And then you can actually taste their flavor.
Okay, Amy.
I was just offering a simple solution to your. There's a halfway point between that all or nothing situation that you've created for yourself.
Life is
Because I do love to like a flavorful tomato, so it is a dilemma for me.
My trick is that I get not like an heirloom tomato. I get Roma tomatoes. I feel like they last longer.
Yeah, but that's like the least flavorful tomato.
Maybe that's probably why I like them the most. But I also leave them out of my fridge, so you never know.
it. It depends. Also, I've had some very good Roma tomatoes before, but ones that you get in winter.
Potatoes, tortillas, and tortilla chips.
Oh yeah, I forgot Roma tomatoes on that list. Another pretty far callback.
Yeah,
Jumping back in time here.
yeah. That was a real treat for people who have explored the archive.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, explorer. Talk about talking about tricks and also callbacks. I'm gonna say, uh, Sheldon, what is your trick for getting rid of the hiccups? We were talking about this earlier.
I get the hiccups pretty often, so it depends
Yeah,
on
you do.
and it's sometimes I think that my mom used to think that it was Tourette's, and it's only the hiccups though, and it's just very circumstantial. It can like because I ate too quickly, whatever. Um, there are multiple. So we had a whole discussion about this during my lunch hour when I was a kid on all the various like things that you can do.
Okay.
But the one that I normally do is I like hold my breath like aggressively, like and then like plug my nose and just like really like make sure I can't breathe, hold my breath, and then like when you hiccup, you like it's almost like it's like a you feel the hiccup happen, but because you have no breath, it like suffocates it, if that makes sense. And then if you have them for longer than an hour, which is like horrible when you have hiccups like mine, there's a trick that you can do where you press like your temples right here And like for some ungodly reason, there was a guy who had it like hiccups for like years and years and years. And then like someone discovered this trick and shared it with him and then it finally stopped.
You get them a lot, I will say,
Yeah.
more than anyone I know.
So I don't know if like it's related to my anxiety or something or if I just like get the hiccups like
What scientifically are the hiccups?
so it's like your diaphragm essentially like your diaphragm as I've explained it. So I have some I have cheese wrap. So this is plastic like from a cheese wrap and you kind of like it's like your bottom of like it's a like there's the bottom of your like lungs area there's like this thing that's like below them that like presses down and up and essentially it's like from my understanding it's like your diaphragm like has like it's like too tight, I guess. No, I'm not remembering that right. We need a scientist that can explain this.
I thought there was something. The word spasm came to mind. Diaphragm spasm, but that
I,
doesn't help.
I think it's like there's your lungs and then there's like this thing underneath it that like can like contract or release. And I think that sometimes it has to do with your stomach and I know if you eat too fast it happens and I tend to eat too fast. Not 100% sure on that. But those are my two tricks. Did anybody else have any interesting other ones that I can watch?
Um, watch? Did you say?
I can rewatch it later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I can go through it. Like, I hold my breath and then sip water,
Yeah.
which is how it came. Ryan surprised me by not having a method that he uses uh, as like the one. It surprised me.
Just usually kind of feel helpless and hope that they get. I try holding my breath, but it never works.
Well, now you have some options in case.
Yeah. Max
Yeah.
also said um, you'll have to rewatch to get the wording just right, but it was basically that you just try to like think I'm going to like I'm gonna
Sheer
hiccup.
power of will.
Well, it's like I'm gonna hiccup, and you try to like feel it as much as you can. It sounded really weird. I don't know if I've like I know I've
I
heard
think I
Max
know what
mention
Max
it
is
before.
talking about. I actually can relate to that because, like, when I would get the hiccups in class, like, I would like aggressively like think it away, but it was almost like I was thinking so hard that I stopped breathing.
Hmm.
So maybe that has,
And then you think they've gone away, and then you hiccup again.
but it's like not as intense, or it's like way worse. It kind of depends.
Hmm.
The other, did anybody mention gargling water? Like,
No,
God, what an
Wow.
incredible sound!
Talk about an unpleasant sound.
I kind of liked it.
More unpleasant than the fish by
Really?
far. About to kick you off the stream.
Hi everyone. I kind of like the sound. It sounds like a turkey, like. Nobody. Okay, all right.
I mean, I think it's a funny sound.
I think it's fun. It then the fish was worse.
The fish is annoying. Yeah, it's just
Unpleasant.
I heard you gargling just right into my ears.
yeah.
Oh, I can see why that could be worse. What if I just whispered something really sexy?
Ooh, don't like that.
This we don't necessarily want to turn this show into a different kind of show.
Yeah. This is not an ASMR hot show.
Oh man.
Maybe sometime, but not today.
Yeah. Show's about hydration. So I'll take a drink.
Yeah. Oh, you want to take a drink? No, he's sleeping.
I am starting to get sleepy, however.
Yeah, we have been going for a while, and I am fairly warm, and I do feel very well hydrated. I will say.
Y'all are all gonna wake up in the middle of the night. Maybe. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
You drink a lot of water. I peeped in on the show a couple times.
Yeah, no, I've been drinking so much. I've just about finished my second Nalgene.
You're gonna wake up at. Hold on. How long does it take for water to go through your body?
I don't know.
I feel like there are a lot of variables.
I think that's true. I think that's true.
All right. How long does it take to pee after you drink water? In general, it takes your digestive system 10 to 73 hours to move things that you eat through your digestive tract.
Eat.
Your digestive tract. Liquids are rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream, and fluids in excess of the body's needs are eliminated via kidneys and urine faster. Oh my god, it cuts off. All right. Water absorption can absorb as soon as 5 minutes after ingestion and peaks around 20 minutes after ingestion. Your kidneys are continually producing urine, so excess liquids are quickly eliminated via urine. So, like, I guess 20 minutes if you're like drinking a lot, or that's how fast it gets into your system. So I think that's like why we like take pills with water. Okay, once you drink water, it's processed by your digestive tract in abbreviated digestive. So like essentially it like skips the process that like you would have to go through eating. Because sometimes it can just be absorbed right into your bloodstream and just go that much faster, which is kind of cool. This article is so dumb. It says if you're drinking a lot of water, you might want to make sure that there's a bathroom nearby.
Thanks, Internet. Wouldn't have even thought of that.
Wow.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
So like I think when you're drinking, like it impacts your like liver, but also like your intestines. So I don't know why this fact seems interesting to me. It says as you drink water, it enters your stomach and is quickly processed through your small intestine. The large intestine, colon, also absorbs some water. Nearly all the water is absorbed. I don't know how I said it like that. Into your bloodstream from the small intestine. So it like doesn't necessarily go into your large intestine as much as your small one. I just want to know how fast it takes to pee out water.
I bet there's a lot of factors. Ryan, is there anything that you'd like to give a little water toast to?
I've been listening to a lot of Dead Eyes. Listen to the Dead Eyes podcast.
Drink to that.
Drink to that. I just finished season 2, which, if you remember, ended with him riffing on the life is like a box of chocolates metaphor, but he's purposefully misremembering it. So it's like, life is like a bag of jelly beans. Life is like an assortment of candies, but you can't look at the bottom of the container to see which candy corresponds to which kind of candy.
I hate
it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it is a great podcast. I highly enjoyed that. Yeah, Sheldon,
that's it.
Sheldon, is there anything that you'd like to water toast to?
I think I've had two. That's okay. Is that okay?
Water toast.
We'll just do
Okay.
2 sips. Yeah,
So
that's such an image in my mind now. Water toast.
Water toast.
watery toast. But okay, so number one is like saying hi to homeless people. Like just saying hi. Like if they're in your neighborhood and you walk past them every day, just say hi. I say hi to this guy Felix every day when I see him, and I'm sure that that sometimes makes his day. Because I don't know, I think that that's something that you can do, and it's free and easy to do. Um, and then number two,
For that.
if your local grocery store has excess clearance cheese, this is probably my favorite thing about my local grocery store. They give away like dollar cheese ends, and you can try all sorts of fancy cheeses for very cheap, and it's kind of amazing. So check out your local clearance cheese section.
What's
Or
your local store?
so there's like Tony's grocery store or a Whole Foods that does it, and then I think Jewel also has cheese ends. So lots of larger stores also do it. So cheese ends. See if your local grocery store does that.
Excellent.
I drank to it. I drank to
I
it.
drank to it.
Uh,
What about you, Hot?
cheese ends for the end of the show.
Mm.
I don't know. What would I like to water toast? Um,
I'm not out of water, so it's gonna be a booze toast. I hope it's okay.
I mean, I guess for
That's
the
fine.
last one of the night, I could maybe allow it, but make sure to get that water filled up.
Yeah. I'll allow it, but watch yourself.
Um,
This better be going somewhere.
let's see. What am I excited about right now? I guess I'm most one of the things I'm most excited about right now is uh, take taking things from your dreams and bringing them into the world in some way. Um, if you recently, I've been seeing little weird images in my dreams. Like there was a person that was like a piece of wood. Um, really strange little image. I drew it. I drew a picture of it, and I really want to promote people taking things from their dreams and making them into reality.
Definitely drink to that.
I had a really fucked up dream last
Yeah,
night.
we didn't do a what?
Oh no, I had a really weird dream last night, so I was like in my head thinking about like everything that like could have. We don't have to talk about it.
It can always remain a mystery.
Good, good, good.
That was the show. Thank you all for coming down. That was the show. Thank you all for sticking around. I hope you had some fun, but now the show is done. So go on, get out of there. Thanks so much for being here.